that, we are ready for the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind all main quest, where musical daredevil will be bending time, space, and every speed strat in the book to blitz through Vardenfell's prophecy-laden journey from prisoner to Nerevarine. I think I said that right. MD, you can correct me on that if you would like to. Go ahead.
Nerevarine.
Thank you. The floor is yours. Go ahead and take it away.
All right. Yeah, so I hope you are all very excited for the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. We are going to see all of the main quests of Morrowind in just 26-ish minutes. That's my estimate, at least. And yes, there will be some time and space bending involved in it, so I hope you're all very, very excited for that. But first, we are going to be let out of prison. We have been freed from prison by the Emperor. We're not quite sure why. That there is Gia, he was also freed from prison. And now, Rara, which name won the bid war?
The bid war. The bid war winner was and that is spelled Q P Q P Q P Z M Z M Z A L A L A.
Excellent. It's all right, so with that name for our Nerevarine, we are not going to get off the prison boat. Time has not started quite yet. Time is going to start as soon as I get full character control, which will be after this dialogue box here. I'm going to adjust my mic here so I can see where my hands are. All right, you can start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. And right after that, we have one of the hardest strats in the whole run, and that is getting around that guard there, and I got it. I actually did not get that during tech check, so I'm very excited for that. It saves about a second to a second and a half. Here is Hatch Skip, which I also got, and that's awesome, because I did not get it earlier today on Hotfix, so glad I got it here. Now we have character generation. I'm going to be choosing Redguard's my character's race. Redguard's got an ability known as Adrenaline Rush, which is going to be very useful for a jump coming up fairly early on in the run. Inside we have the rest of character creation. I'm going to be creating a custom class for my character. That class is going to be able to get me to level 3, which we need to be to get a quest fairly early on in the main quest. So I'm just going to click twice down here, click that, then grab that. There are a lot of menus in Morrowind, and being able to menu quickly is actually one of the main ways that you save time in this run. Next up, we have our character's birth sign. I'm going to be choosing the Steed because that makes you go slightly faster, which is, of course, the best speed runs. Now we have a little bit of a game exploit. There's a platter off to the side, and I'm just going to steal it. And if you steal things during the tutorial, the game says, please don't steal things, but doesn't actually give you any consequences. It tries to take it from me, but if I just drop it on the floor, they can't do that, and so I can pick it up and sell it for some gold a little bit later. Another thing I'm going to steal is this ring in a barrel. You're supposed to give it to an NPC outside. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sell it for some gold. That gold's very important. And actually, the NPC was behind it anyway, so that'll be a time loss if I try to give it to him. This here is Auril. We're going to sell the platter and ring and buy a lockpick as well as some scrolls. There are several different kinds of teleportation in Morrowind, and we bought one of them. There is Intervention, which warps you to the nearest temple or fort, and then there is Mark and Recall, where you can mark a spot and recall there later. We will be using all of those throughout this run. Right now we're heading outside of town to a little bit of an Easter egg. There's a mage who has invented some scrolls that allow you to jump really high. He doesn't quite know how to use them correctly, so he's going to fall to his death. We're going to take them, plus the shoes, and then teleport to Balmorra with Intervention. And in Balmorra, we are just going to jump to the end of the game. Yes, Balmorra is an open world game where you can just jump straight to the end of it. And I had some button presses lag a little bit there. I do have to be very careful if I cast the wrong spell here. Oh, goodness. That jump did not work. Sometimes that happens. It looks like caps lock didn't quite work correctly. Did the game just crash? No. Okay. Yeah, it's this jump. It's rare to miss it, especially if you kind of know the reasons why you might miss it. You can't see it, but I'm actually holding forwards right now and running forwards all at the same time. That's just to get me that little bit of extra distance so I can end up right here at Eldrasol. At Eldrasol, I'm going to get one of a few items I need to beat the game. One of them is a Dagger Keening right in here. Going to grab that Halberd. And as soon as I pick up Keening, I'm going to swap it back and forth really, really quickly. And in the 1.0 version of the game, this permanently adds to my stats. A little bit more there. Yeah, I want to be 3,000 without actually going too far over 3,000. That's rather annoying, a little bit of time lost there. If I go over 3,000, then collision gets really difficult to deal with. Oh goodness, I'm falling all over the place. But luckily my estimate has that built in. Alright, just gonna fly through here. Once you have 3,000 speed, most collision doesn't matter, but some of it does. Like, I just phased through the door there. This right here is an endgame boss. I'm going to swap weapons mid-animation and just kill him with a lockpick, because you can do that. You can swap weapons mid-animation, unlike a certain remake, and then if you kill them with a lockpick, that actually just does a ton of damage. And now that I have done that, I'm actually going to save and exit the game, because that Sunder Keening weapon swap glitch I did only works in 1.0, but if I swap to Game of the Year Edition, which I'm doing in the background right now, that actually is faster because of a lot of quality of life improvements that have been introduced in Game of the Year Edition. It's only like a few seconds here and there for each of those improvements, but it really adds up over the course of the run. Form our script. That shows up randomly, just a little dialogue box, which does affect things in RTA a bit, but not so much in in-game time. Alright, now that we've done that, we are going to warp to the nearby city of Aldruin and then fly to the town of Caldera. With that, going to unequip Keening or Sunder there, because if I have that equipped, my character will eventually die. There's a script attached to it that drains your health. And now in here, I'm going to steal some armor out of this crate and then sell it to everyone's favorite merchant if you play this game casually, Creeper. Unless you like the Talking Mudcrab merchant, but we're not going to see that merchant because they are way too far out of my way. Going to buy a bow and some arrows from Varik Jamain right across the street here. I'll have some more of that armor. There they are. This inventory is a little bit random. We're going to be using a bow and arrows throughout the run in order to kill NPCs from out of bounds. Now we're going to fly back to Belmore, where we jumped to the end of the game from. We're going to buy some more spells, and then I'm going to create a custom spell. Just buy these ones up here, over there. There we go. So this custom spell does three things. It increases the speed of any NPC I cast it near. It's going to increase my personality, so NPCs like me more. And then it's also going to have a glitch effect, which I set everything to 0. And that glitches the spell in such a way that it's basically permanent when I cast it. So I'm going to set all that to 0. Set to target, set that. Next, I'm going to bind a few hotkeys here. Hotkeys are also very important to be able to do this quickly. Put lockpicks there. And then we are going to warp outside the temple and head to Sedanine, where we got off the prison boat and then got out to the world of Morrowind. Because in Sedanine, there is a fetch quest item right outside of town that we are going to be grabbing. That's in this ancestral tomb here. Sometimes I have a little bit of trouble with this door. Luckily, I didn't today. Let's see if I have any trouble with glitching here. Nope, perfect. That was a very good ancestral tomb get. All right, over here is Caius, who's going to be the main quest giver for the first part of the main quest. He is going to send us on a quest to get some information about the 6th house. Before we can do that, we have to get another fetch quest item right outside of town in a dungeon called Arcing Thought. Now, if you played Morrowind casually, you may remember an NPC right outside of Arcing Thought named Snowy Granius. So it's kind of like a skill check just to make sure you were leveled up well. We just flew over Snowy, so we didn't have to deal with him. He's just going to stand there not realizing that we've stolen the puzzle box from here. There's the door. And in here, we have the puzzle box. And we're out. Now that we've done that, we can take this puzzle box and bring it to the Fighters Guild, where we will get the information. There we are. Turn that in, get the information, and we're done. Now that I've done that, I'm going to set up for the level up to, that was the wrong skill, set up for the level up to level 3. This isn't actually the level 3 yet, we are just preparing these skill ups for it. We'll be getting to level 3 a little bit later. There we go. With that, we are going to head to the Mages Guild, turn in the fetch quest item we got outside of Sedanine, plus set up a few other things. Now, Windows really likes to scare me right now with it thinking the game has crashed, but it did not, thankfully. I don't think it's ever actually crashed there before. It's just Windows getting scared. Okay, sell those, buy that for later. Did not get Drathis. That is good. The scrolls I needed were right there. NPC is down here. Very easy to accidentally steal items and also experience weird collision. There we go. I'm in. If you try to talk to an NPC from out of bounds, they're going to be like, who's there? And you'll be like, it's me, but they don't see you, so...
It's your conscience.
Exactly. It's the NPC's conscience. I just bought a levitate spell here. That's a bit of a safety strat. There are other ways of doing levitation, but that's kind of the safer one to create as a spell. So now I'm going to set up for another glitch. If you cast a follow spell twice on an NPC that is involved with certain escort quests, it will actually skip to a part of the script that instantly completes that escort quest. We're not quite sure why that part of the script is there, but it is very, very useful because some of those escort quests are extremely annoying. So just going to enchant Tarkiel's shoes there. And with that, we can head back to Caius and rest up. And this is the actual level up to level 3.
Real quick, only $19 left until we meet that bonus any percent milestone. Your little noise there made me lose my train of thought.
We are so close, chat. Let's get that bonus incentive.
You see how broken this is already. I want to see this get beat in like 4 minutes.
Exactly. It gets real broken during that.
My brain is already like mush. Trying to figure out what's happening.
Oh, there are so many things happening. You've heard me talking like a mile a minute. We are already like 2/3 of the way into this quest. So much has happened, but we've got an incentive to meet, so very important. I'm just gathering information. Don't worry about it. Also, I killed the tax man. Don't worry about that either.
Greetings to my good friend.
So the third part of this quest here, where I'm gathering information, is to talk to an NPC in the library. They're going to tell us to grab a book. The book is also in the library, so we're going to steal it, and we're way too fast for the guards. Unless I happen to get out of bounds, which I don't think I did. And we're out. Alright. So next up, we have to talk to another NPC, gather more information. You may be sensing a bit of a trend here. That's just kind of how Caius rolls. But this NPC is going to tell us about a group known as the Ashlanders, who are a series of nomadic tribes way out in the Ashlands. And we are going to talk to this NPC about their gift-giving customs. So just going to pop in here through the wall. Don't worry, I'm not your conscience. I just want to know about the Ashlanders. Alright. So now that we have done that, Caius is finally going to tell us why we've been doing all this information gathering stuff. See, the Emperor Uriel Septim VII believes we may be the reincarnation of a war general from over 1,000 years ago. And if that is the case, we actually have a very important destiny to fulfill. So we're going to head way out to the Ashlands, talk to the Ashlanders, and see if they can help us out with fulfilling this prophecy. Before we can do that, we have a fetch quest we have to do. This cave here can be very, very difficult to find, but I have actually a visual cue that I use on the map to find it every time. And if you study the map closely enough, you can actually use that visual cue too, if you want to do this run at home. Fairly forgiving run. Anyway, here is the ghost. Uses my halberd to take them out. Grab bow, teleport out of here, and then head to the camp. It's a very clear day, which is good. This area is very hard to navigate if it is ash storming, which it usually is. So we have some very important niceties to fulfill, like the gift-giving custom. Then we can talk to the leader, we can mark here. And then we can tell the leader, hey, we fetched the bow for you already. He's like, great, go talk to the wise woman. Now what the wise woman is going to tell us is that we haven't quite fulfilled the prophecy yet, but we have the potential to fulfill that. Now what would normally happen next is we would have a very, very long and annoying fetch quest that takes us into Red Mountain, the game area, where we've already been to. But I can skip all that because I already know the location that fetch quest is going to take me to, and it's right here.
Under Azura's star, the door is opened.
Now inside this cave is a ring, and as soon as I pick up that ring, if I don't get popped upwards, there we go, that's going to set up the next part of the main quest. We have to be named Nerevarine by all 4 of the Ashlander tribes, and Hortator by all 3 of the Great Houses. This vampire right here is part of one of the Nerevarine quests. I'm just going to kill him. Then we're going to talk to the Zainab tribe, who is just a little ways south here. There they are. That tree right outside is my least favorite tree in this game because I get caught in it all the time. You might see me get caught in it later when I have to come back here. So we tell the leader of that tribe that we have killed the vampire, and he says, great, go find me a bride. So, whatever, I guess that's just how they roll. We'll take care of that later. In the meantime, we have the Tovani Hortator quest. Now, the way the Hortator quests work is you have to have every single counselor vote for you to be named Hortator. You cannot have a single one vote otherwise. You may have just noticed that I killed a couple of them. If you kill a counselor, their vote just doesn't count, so that's totally fine. This would be a very, very annoying escort quest, but we can just use our Shoes of Instapass, and the quest is done. This is the Urshulaku tribe. We already talked to them. They like me a whole bunch, and so we can just talk to them about need and duty and other things, and we're Urshulaku Nervarine. And with that, we can now head to Alderaan and do the Redoran Hortator quest. Now, the way the Redoran Hortator quest works is the head of House Redoran has kidnapped the son of one of the other counselors, and once we free him, that counselor is going to talk to the other counselors and says, hey, you should vote for this guy to be named Nervarine. And so, that's basically going to be... Hold on. Got a little tongue pad there. Okay. Sometimes I do forget, like, what keys to press in what order here in this room. There is a lot of them. Now, this here is the one escort quest that we cannot instantly complete, because unfortunately it does not have that part in the script that you can get to and just instantly pass it. This quest isn't super annoying, but is a little bit annoying because this is escort AI from 2002, so it's not great, and this NPC can get stuck on, like, railings and other things. But it looks like we actually had a very, very good RNG there.
I feel as though I
Alright, with that, we have now turned in that part of the quest, so all you have to do at this point is just talk to all of the other counselors and just kind of have them vote for us to be Hortator. And so, this would be a perfect time, Rara, if you've got anything else you want to talk about.
Yes, we have opened a new bid war for our next run of Vowed, and that is to name the envoy. Once again, 16 characters for that. Unfortunately, no special characters this time, but you could still consider extending the if you really want to do that. On top of that, once again, only $19 until we get that bonus any percent run met. Every donation that you put towards naming the envoy will also go towards that milestone. It is the best deal in marathons that you can ever get. It is a 2-for-1. So let's get more funny names. Let's continue this meme. And let's also get that any percent run so we can make my brain even more mush before my host shift is finished.
You get to hear Rara say that name again, potentially. That'll be incredible. So that was the end of the Redoran quest. Now, we did talk to the head of House Redoran. He's not going to vote for us to be Hortator. Instead, he challenged us to a duel to the death. We'll take care of that later. But in the meantime, Caius has a bit of a side quest for us. Caius and his Blades agents have found a base of the 6th house, and so he's going to have us go there and take out the head priest. Now, the 6th house are kind of the main villains of Morrowind. They are slowly taking over the world, infecting people through their dreams, and through corpus disease, which we'll talk about in a bit. And we don't quite want them to do that, as well as get control of their giant mech they're building, and so we want to stop them. That there is the head priest killed him from out of bounds, and with his dying breath, that priest cured us with corpus disease, which is a rather nasty disease. It slowly disfigures you and eventually kills you. And the problem is there is no cure for corpus disease, and we have it now. So Caius is going to get to work on that, and in the meantime, we're going to head to Wallach Bar and see if we can figure out the rest of the Nervarine prophecy. Over this way is the, not the Zyab tribe, the Arabenium sub-tribe. And the way this works is there's a whole bunch of warlike people who do not want me to be named Nervarine. So we're just going to kill all of them and have someone else name us Nervarine, or name someone else out of the tribe instead, and then they will name us Nervarine. I do have to be careful what tents I enter. I don't want to enter the wrong one, or else I can kill the NPC I need. And this is not the backdoor path to the main quest, this is the regular one. Here's the wise woman. She's going to tell me everything I just told all of you. We have to name someone else out of the tribe instead and kill the warlike people. We've already done that. Just head in here. Now, the person we want to name aside of the tribe is kind of reluctant. There he is. And so we have to yell at him a bunch, give him a bunch of items I stole from the warlike people, and he's like, okay, you can be Nervarine now. Please leave me alone. I do have to make sure I click the... Oh, goodness, I am stuck thing. That can happen indoors. Whoops. You do kind of see me sometimes switch from first person to third person. That is actually to control my movement. You can see that I go very, very fast in first person when I go forwards, if I switch to third person, I go slower forwards, but much faster while strafing. And in this area, Telfir, that's actually very important. Telfir is probably the worst place to navigate in the speedrun, just because of all this geometry, all these collisions, and you see me swap from first person to third person a bunch, just to control my speed. Now, Telfir is where we are hopefully going to try out the cure for Corpus, but everyone's taken it has died, so we're just going to try it too, because what we have to lose anyway. This right here is the last living dwarf. If you have played this game or Skyrim, you'll know what a big deal it is that we are talking to a dwarf in this game. That's the only one there. That's a door right there. It can be a bit tricky to navigate to in first person, so I had to swap to third person. Now that we have fetched the boots, we are going to take the cure, and what do you know, it works on us, the main character of all people. And it just so happens that being able to be cured of Corpus is actually part of the prophecy. This right here
Plot
is Nelith.
armor.
Plot armor! So that right there is Nelith. Nelith is supposed to appear in a Skyrim DLC, but he's canonically dead, so don't know how that's possible. This right here is Gothrin. You're actually supposed to kill Gothrin. The game just flat out tells you that you need to kill Gothrin, because he's never going to vote for a Spinian Tortator. That door right there can be kind of trolly sometimes, and won't let me out. And actually, if you run out of levitation in some areas, it will actually softlock the game. That right there was a slave in a cage. We opened up the cage, cast our Shoes of Inspess on her twice, and she is now the bride of the head of the Zainab tribe. Congratulations, we are now Zainab Nerevarine.
Why walk when you can run?
So now we're going to head back to Balmoral for one final time. Well, actually, not quite the final time, but head to Kais for one final time. Kais is going to give us his final quest before he heads back to the Imperial City. You may remember Mira Milo. Well, she is in jail now. She was in the library when we stole the book and got it before the guards could catch us. This here is the head of House Halalu, if I can get out of bounds. There we go. He is actually allied with Dagoth in the 6th house, so we're going to kill him. And now that we've done that, all the other heads of House Halalu are scared of us, and they're going to name us vote for us to be named Hortator very easily. Especially when I just pop out of bounds out of the ceiling. This counselor tends to wander down the hallway a bit. Very common for that to happen. We are now going to head to the arena and take care of the head of House Redoran. We're just going to give him a little friendly bonk on the head. There he goes. And now no more head of House Redoran. In here we have Yingling Half-Troll. You'd have to pay him 1,000 gold, but that takes a while, so we're just going to kill him instead. That's much faster. Next up we have Drambaro. All you have to do is find him. He is right over here.
May you find me worthy.
I'm surprised how it's inbounds, but I'm not complaining. Very thankful about that. If your character's head is like slightly out of bounds, then that counts as you being completely out of bounds, and then NPCs just won't see you. Alright, this counselor here, very easy to forget because she's kind of out of the way. I need to make sure I have the right spell. And now we're going to break Miramilo out of jail. Miramilo is known as part of a faction known as the Distant Priests, who have an alternate account of the War General. And the temple here on Vardenfell does not like that account, and so they are persecuting the Distant Priests and putting them in jail. Once we have freed Miramilo from the jail cell, we're going to travel to their secret base by using the secret code word of going fishing. Shout out to any fishing fans here in chat. Words are hard when you're going this fast. Then we're going to wait for a bit. Definitely do not want to levitate. I've done that accidentally, and you actually can't wait while levitating. We have tried to find a way to clip into the monastery when you're levitating, but it's not consistent, so we don't do it. Now that we've gotten that alternate account, we can do the next couple of quests in any order, but I like to do them in this order because otherwise I can forget one, and that's bad. This is the last living counselor of House Silvani, if I've done everything correctly. She's going to be ranting about spiders and eggs a bit, but eventually she will name us Hortator of House Silvani. Okay, everything's good there. If you don't watch an NPC's death animation all the way through, then they actually don't count as dead completely. And so you might have seen me pausing after talking to some NPCs, and that's why. Now we turn in the Redoran Hortator quest. Now, the new head of House Redoran is the counselor whose son we've rescued, so no problems there. We are now Hortator of House Redoran. And now we have the last of the 3 Hortator quests, and that is Halalu Hortator. The new head of House Halalu is Crassius Curio, who is a rather interesting character and also a bit of a playwright, but I won't be talking about that. Let's forget that. Anyway, now if I've done everything correctly, we have completed all 3 Hortator quests and all 4 Ashlandard quests. And so we are now going to talk to the false god Vivek, who's going to give us the final quest to defeat Dagoth Ur. Whoops. Some bad collision there that can happen sometimes. Door. The doors are kind of the enemy of this game. Collision gets real bad sometimes. Alright, there's Vivek. Alright, with that, we have completed all of the requirements of the all main quest category. We're going to head to Balmora one final time, then head to Aldrun, and then we're going to head back to the center of the map and defeat the final boss. We are getting very, very close on time. How are we doing on that incentive?
We are still needing that $19 to get that met.
boy.
Chat, we are almost out of time. It
very
is
close.
now or never. Exclamation point donate in that chat right now. And even if you just put in $5, that gets us $5 closer to that milestone.
Alright, here's the final boss. Time is coming up as soon as I teleport out of here.
Oh, we met it. There we go.
Nice. Time. Great job, y'all. GG,
You no
chat.
longer bear the burden of prophecy.
Down to the
You
wire.
achieved your
Down to
destiny.
the wire.
You
Wow.
are free.
It is not
The
too
doom
late to
do
find
we-
mercy.
Thank you all so much for meeting that incentive. So that was Morrowind all main quests in however long that took. I actually can't see the timer. Now set for...
That was 23:38.
Oh, nice. That was perfect. I was hoping for a time like that. 23 is a fairly typical marathon time for me. So, what you are about to see is any percent. Now, what we did for all main quests is we went to Red Mountain, we got the 2 items we need to beat the game, then we veered off, did all of the all main quest stuff, and then after that we came back to Red Mountain and then defeated the final boss. But you don't have to do all of that all main quest stuff. You can just go straight to the final boss after you get the 2 items you need to beat the game. And so that's exactly what we are going to do here in this any percent run. So if Tech is all ready, I mean, I guess it can kind of jump in. We just listen to Gia yap some more, and then time will start.
There you
Once
go.
Tech is ready.
You were dreaming.
Looks like we're ready.
What's your name?
Nice. Can I have the name one more time?
Oh gosh. QP. 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 1, 2, 3. Yeah. ZM. ZM. ZA. LA. LA.
Excellent.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you.
All right.
I heard
This is
them
the
say
spot
we
I like
reached
to
Morrowind.
use to get around the
sure
guard.
let us go.
Lots of Morrowind runners have different spots on the wall they look at. Some might look at that, not on the wall.
Quiet.
I like to look here.
Here
It works
comes
best
the
for me
guard.
personally.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
All right, and you can start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Now this run starts off mostly the same. I get around the guard today the second time. That is actually 4 guard skips today for me live on stream, so awesome. Let's see if I can get hash skip again. Yes, I got it, nice. So I do pick red guards my race once again because we do have to jump to Odrysal like I did before. But once we get inside, things are going to start to be
Great.
different.
I'm sure you'll fit
Because
right
I
in.
don't have to worry about
Follow
being
me
level
up to
3
the
before. We
office
don't
and
have to do the
finish
quest to get to Vivek and get that information and kill the taxman, steal the book and all that. I just have to get to the end of the game, and so I can actually pick a pre-made class.
Expecting you. You'll have to be
I position my
recorded
mouse
before
pointer
you're
here in
officially
advance
released.
because that's a really
There
great
are a
visual
few
cue, and you
ways
can
we
just press
do this,
escape and the audio still goes.
choice is yours.
So click that, click OK.
Very
I'm going to be
good.
picking
The
Steve
letter
once
that
again as my
preceded you
class
mentioned you
because
were
again
born
we go
under a
faster and that's all I
certain
need to do.
sign. And what would that be?
Speed.
Interesting.
Get this last window.
Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
And we are going to
Show
steal the
your
platter
papers
and
to
ring.
the
Once
captain
again,
who
that gold is very, very valuable.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes
One thing that has happened to me before, and it is kind of rare, is I won't drop the platter in time, and the guard will pick it up before I get to it, and that basically kills the run. So you do have to be kind of quick with picking that up. Gonna go through town again. There is a little bit of RNG with not Secutius Urgala, but Celes Gravius, where it can be at the front of the room or the back of the room. And if he's at the front of the room, that saves about a second. There's also some RNG there with Earl's inventory. You may have noticed it looked a little bit different there. And I think that inventory layout might have been a bit worse than the one I got before. It was not the worst layout I can get. I actually got that earlier today, but it was still not great. So we have Tar Heel again. I am only getting the scrolls from Tar Heel, not getting his shoes. Don't need the shoes anymore. Also going to make sure I stop running earlier. Stamina management is very important for this part of the run. And it is raining. Let's hope I get this first try again. And remember, if you've got anything, now's another great time.
Yeah, shout out to Average Imposter who sent in $20 to help get this milestone met and said, let's get those donations rolling.
Yes. Let's do it.
Y'all, your job now is to give us a really, really good name for the Envoy in Avowed, which is coming right up next.
Oh, okay. I got very, very scared there for a second. That railing, if I run into it, I can actually get stuck on it. And there's no way of getting out. Some of the collision in this game, like doors are bad, but that railing there, like that can also cause me to have to reload a save. Come on, get out. Okay. Now, for all main quests, I had to make sure that my... Oh dear, I blew it out there. I gotta navigate through this a bit manually, it's annoying. So, for my character's speed, I had to make sure that was 3,000 or less for all main quests, because otherwise collision gets really, really difficult to manage. But here, for any percent, it doesn't matter nearly as much, so I can let my speed get up to like 4,000. Alright, now we just teleport to Aladruin, and now we just go straight to the end of the game. We don't have to see Creeper, we don't have to do any of the other stuff, we can just go straight to the end here. Here's Dagoth already. It's that door. Normally Dagoth would be speaking to me a whole bunch, but I'm missing the sound triggers, so Dagoth is going to speak a whole bunch at the end. I don't have Mark and Recall, so time is going to be a little bit later than it was before.
What a fool.
But it's still going to be when I lose character control. This...
How could you kill a god? Stop! What a grand
That's the final
and
boss defeated.
intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive?
Get out of here.
There's no escape.
And...
welcomes you
time.
You can work in this place.
Good
but
lord.
You no longer bear the burden of prophecy.
It is not too
You
late
have
to
achieved
find
your
mercy.
destiny. You are free.
And I do like to let the ending cutscene run there for a bit, because that was 3 lines of dialogue all at the same time. You had 2 from Dagoth plus the ending cutscene, which is excellent. But anyway, that was The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, all main quests as well as any percent. Thank you all so much for donating to meet that milestone incentive. All of it is going to an amazing cause, helping Trainer and Nade with their cause for helping to raise Quet. A couple shouts I want to give. Shout out to Volvulus as well as Forrest for helping to route all main quests and also for doing a lot of mentoring. Shouts to the rest of the Elder Scrolls community, Kronos, as well as so many other amazing folks there. If you would like to learn these runs, we do have a link to our Discord at speedrun.com, where you can head there, you can learn how to do these runs yourselves. Any percent is actually a fairly forgiving run. Anyone can really learn to do that with a little bit of practice. And I think that's pretty much going to do it for me.
All right, well, thank you again so much for being here, and y'all stick around. We will be right back in just a moment. All right, everybody, give it up one more time for Musical Daredevil and his Elder Scrolls 3 run. Plus that bonus any percent. Thank you so much for getting that met. That was... I have no words. I legitimately have no words for what I just saw, except that maybe I'm going to learn that run myself. In fact, if we hit $1,000 before the end of this night, I will learn Elder Scrolls 3 as a speedrun and make that my first speedrun. Because that was so fun to watch. I'm being told that these are fighting words. And that I will absolutely be taught. I get $1,000 and I will learn that run. That's up to you, chat. To help you along there, we have opened up a new milestone for this evening. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD Glitch Exhibition. If y'all can raise $150 at the end of that run, which you will because you're going to raise $1,000 by the end of that run, you will get to see the Glitch Exhibition. 80% already has a lot of glitches, but there are many glitches that are not featured in this run or are only featured in other categories. And that will be shown off by Josiah. Or Joe-ish. Someone tell me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. We'll figure that out in just a minute. On top of that, we are still trying to get some names here in our bid war for the Avowed Envoy. So every donation that you put towards that Envoy name will also go towards that Glitch Exhibition milestone. We love giving everyone here some twofers. The nice 2-for-1 deals just for you. For anyone who's just joining us, this is Quest for Quet, a mutual aid event helping the friend of the community, Trainer Anade, to train and raise their next service animal, Quetzalcoatl. Because of the demanding task-specific training required of service animals, the average cost for training a service animal is estimated anywhere between $10,000 and $80,000. So if you want to help Anade directly, you can find their PayPal by typing !donate in the chat. We are just about ready for Avowed, so while we finish getting that set up, get your donations in, name that envoy, make sure that you're selecting that bid war and typing in a name. Again, 16 characters, so you can once again go with the la 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 la. We'll be right back.